Well, guys, just a quick one before we start. Essentially, this episode is going to be a two-parter because it's really long and we had to break it up to make it ease of editing. And it's kind of a test to see if we can put out the episodes faster if we split them. Also, we kind of got talking the beginning of the episode for a fair bit longer with updates and stuff than we planned to. That's also another reason why we split it up. It's not something we're going to try and shorten them down in future. So just a little note, if you're new to the channel, it's not something we usually do. Usually we're a bit more quicker to get onto the goth subjects. But as always, the chapters and parts of the episode are split in the description and hopefully in the browsing bar with the timer. Anyway, enjoy the episode.
Our tangents, but
I mean, we kind of already are on a tangent.
Yeah, true. Introductions first, though, so people know who's doing the tangent.
Well, first, say the line, Dean, where I am.
What? What?
My background, say the line.
Oh, Aurora Borealis.
You just flubbed the line.
Oh. What, you want me to say the whole thing? What? I don't know what you mean.
Aurora Borealis, located in the entirety of Aytakks PC.
What are you on about? Aurora Borealis. Aurora Borealis, at this time of day, in this part of the country, localized entirely within Aytakks with PC.
At 4:51 in the morning.
May I see it?
Which is about when it would show, so... The trees aren't right, though. They should be gum trees or some crap. Oh, speaking of which, I had to go do a midnight run to the servo to get smokes the other day because I'd run out and I'd run out for about a day and a half and like... and go down there on the scooter and also get aries money out while I'm down there because why not? I might do as many things as I can. And on the way back, this is like about 2 in the morning, I'm coming back, I turn the corner and there's this thing on the footpath and I'm like, what the hell is that? What? And I didn't recall seeing it on the way through the first time going there. And it's there on the way back and it looks like somebody had like a log and stood it up vertically or something. Then I start getting closer to it. It's a possum standing up like this on its hind legs.
Like Storm does?
Yeah, it's an Australian possum, of course. So those things are bloody adorable.
No.
And it's just looking straight at me. Aww. And I go towards it. It's basically next to probably the tree it's living in. And it jumps up the tree, goes up maybe a meter, and it's just staring at me as I go past, and I'm staring at it as I go past. And as soon as I get near enough to it, it just scurries up the tree.
You were staring each other out as you slipped on.
It looked like it was a big one too. It was probably about a foot tall.
No.
When it was standing up.
Aww.
That's why I thought it was somebody put a log there or something, or it was a big cat. But it was a possum standing on its hind legs, and it had this big bushy tail and everything.
Both staring at each other.
So that's my fun story for now.
Fair enough. Both staring at each other as you slowly go by.
Yeah.
Dramatic.
It must have been running for the Northern Lights. Or Southern Lights.
You got smoke, mate.
Deep Southern Lights.
Mm.
They're cute.
We get the American possums in our driveway every now and then. You can see them on the ring cam.
We rarely get crows.
And yes, I got home and I was quite happy to be in Flavour Country once again. calm me instantly down
Yeah.
when you're addicted to these damn things. Remember, kids, don't start smoking.
I go without smoking.
Very bad.
Don't start that. Eat more.
Unless you want to be cool.
Well, even then, I thought all the cool kids vape nowadays.
I find it's harder to quit vaping than it is to quit smoking because you can vape inside.
But I tried vaping, but it's just not the same.
I mean, same diff.
Yeah, I can see that.
It reminds me a lot more of hookah, to be honest. Vaping. And I do like hookah, but you know, I've never been one to be addicted to smoking because I have, you know, I've had the occasional cigarette and clove and
You're more of a social thing.
things like that, but I just never got hooked on it. It's one of those things where it's like if I'm really pissed off, yeah, I'll go find a cigarette.
You could tell the tobacco posers because they'd be smoking something like 2 strength.
You can get vapes that don't have any nicotine in, and some kids have been doing that just for the sake of vape.
Even then, it's kind of like I don't really need it, you know, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing. Like that's a rare trait.
It's like, why even bother? You're just doing it to look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The cloud.
I mean, I like the idea of the vape, but when I tried it, it was just
It feels. I prefer.
didn't really do it for me. It's like the whole thing of lighting it up and the smoke and everything. It's just, I don't know. Maybe the aesthetics are wrong. I'm not there smoking this thing to be in a cloud of steam,
Yeah. Really expensive. They're really expensive.
and it just doesn't feel right when you're breathing it in. It's just, yeah.
You could try the fume thing, which is just like it looks like a vape pen, but it's actually just flavored air. So
It's probably healthier.
yeah,
I'm
really
I'm-
expensive.
Yeah, they use those in hospitals.
at a point where
Or they're not flavored, but the ones they give you in hospital, it's basically just a nicotine vapor. Not even vapor. There's no heating or anything. You're just breathing in fumes. It's like huffing paint, I guess.
No, it's not like that. It's literally just a little cartridge that makes the air that you breathe in flavored.
It's on. It wouldn't be much different though to I don't know. If you put glue in it, you'd be just getting high off the glue instead.
Picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
I picked the wrong day to quit sniffing glue.
I'm at a point now where I've stopped, where basically I only mostly vape when I'm going out. And I'm trying to, that's the hardest part when I'm drinking. I go weeks without smoking generally.
Oh, you go drinking? Yeah, they just go together.
Yeah.
People have said when I've tried to not do it, I'm there like really tense because it's a good distraction as well and it keeps you busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking forward, like I'm excited to move, but I'm not looking forward to like European bars and stuff since smoking's kind of accepted.
You're not allowed to smoke in Europe anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's been a thing for like since 2006.
Yeah, but a lot of places like a lot of people still like smoke cigarettes and stuff.
I've never seen it in Europe.
Never seen it in Europe?
No, I've been through most.
So like in outdoor cafes and stuff, you'd see.
The only exception I've
Ah.
seen is a couple of bars in the UK where you can vape inside, but you can't smoke.
And obviously you can smoke in certain venues in Amsterdam, but that's something different.
Yeah, I don't know. How to
That smoking's fine.
The whole point of going there is to smoke that.
Yeah.
It's like the druggy version of a Japanese air bar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is.
Spaceballs were right with cans of air.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
They had one of those at Pride one year where it was like flavored oxygen. It was so weird.
Flavored oxygen.
Yeah. It was very odd.
How do you even do that?
I don't know. I've only ever saw it at one Pride, and I've never seen it at any other event ever since. I don't think it
Did you try
it off. No, it was too expensive.
Of course it would be. They'd probably have to like use some sort of genetic experimentation just to make it right, and they only get like one flavor.
Yeah, it was really weird.
If you want another flavor, what flavor is it? Blood.
Genuine back cave air.
So spoopy. Yeah, feed that stuff into the smoke machine so the whole club smells like copper or something. It's like, hey, it smells like blood in here. It's like, yeah, best club ever.
Hardcore goth.
We should probably do the intro.
We can do that now.
Yeah. Welcome back. We are back to our original episodes. So I am Feannag.
I am Mystic.
I am Aytakks, and as of this moment, I'm still editing part 3. Oh my god, what a train wreck. I thought I was getting bad in part 2, but part 3, oh my god. I wasn't going to do some heavy editing, but the bits where I'm just repeating the same joke over and over, I'm going to like chop it down to a single mention.
I was so fucking tired.
Feannag is an absolute saint putting up with my bullshit for that long.
I was so tired and zoned out. I was just like, yeah, you go on, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, he's just going to keep talking, I'm just going to fall
I
asleep.
kind of wish I was drunk.
Part 3 is just, it's not even Halloween, it's just Aytakks ranting.
Oh, we've got my story in there, and
It's a good one. It's very well written.
it's pretty damn good. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You haven't heard it yet.
I'm excited.
But, we're going to have to release it on its own, though, because we go on a couple of tangents. Or more, I go on a couple of tangents because I'm hammered when I'm telling it.
Then he wrote it himself, so.
Yeah. Oh, and the costumes. We went through 3 pages.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that because I'm wondering, because since I haven't looked at the page since Halloween, it's probably changed. So I'm wondering how.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. We give pretty good audio descriptions. You can probably find the individual items and flash them up.
Yeah, I'll work something out. I always do.
Or we do like the Wednesday Addams count. Ding, ding, ding. There were so many of them.
Yeah, I think it was like 13, 14 Wednesday Addams costume.
Surprisingly, I didn't see that many.
Oh, it was crazy.
Ridiculous.
It rivaled my beer count. It's nuts.
We did pop 3 or 4 pages.
Oh, I do got an update on the Athens Halloween. I guess we should talk about like what's happened since Halloween and all that fun jazz.
Oh, yeah. I know I've got a few things that I've done. So, yeah. And you've got your Halloween thing. And,
I've got nothing.
well, Dean has a cat.
Okay, I got one. Got a couple of things. Yeah. Hello, Pepper.
Oh, you go first, Mystic, and let's see how things go.
Yeah. So Haven and I went to Athens, Georgia, to go to Southern Gothic Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And we also got to experience Halloween in Athens, Georgia. Their god damn it, I forgot the little like street crawl thing was called, but basically they do this thing every year, and it was so I've never experienced this on a Halloween, so I was absolutely thrilled. It was basically just a big Halloween march or parade that everybody got to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So once you were kind of done like watching everybody go by, you could join the end, and then for every like couple of blocks there was an independent band playing outside of a bar. So it wasn't affiliated with Southern Gothic. It was different types of bands. Like there was a metal band, there was like a freaking polka band, there was like a hip hop artist around every corner, and if you wanted to, you could stop and listen to them for a little while. it was just freaking great, and there were so many costumes, and like almost everybody had a different costume, or they had group costumes, and it was fantastic.
Spoopy Mardi Gras. So spoopy.
Pretty much. And at the end of it, there were these I want to hopefully say that they were traditional Mayan dancers. They looked like they were. And there were like fire twirlers and pole dancers, and this was all free.
Oh wow.
Like for the public to just like, and then at the very, very end, just right outside of the venue where Southern Gothic actually was like a rave with a DJ.
In other words, you have to pay money to see the real freaks.
Pretty much, yeah. And but it was really great, because if you were too tired to like let's say, like you weren't feeling a certain band at Southern Gothic, you could just go outside and listen to, a DJ play something. It was great.
Like a great big multi-street party? A town party?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and it was well put together. I was really surprised, because I was just expecting like, a big old parking lot with vendors and, some shows, but I wasn't expecting something like that.
Wow.
That was great.
Wasn't there like a march or something as well?
A what?
Wasn't there like a parade?
I mean, it kind of was a parade in of itself. I mean, there were people who maybe had like some floats, or I know there was the Ghostbuster car. Somebody had the Ghostbusters car.
Oh, that's really cool.
And, they dressed up around it like the Ghostbusters and stuff like that. But other than that, like...
That's a bit like how at the Halloween festival, the SA Ghostbusters group were there all dressed up and with all their stuff. But it's great that they're getting involved with things like that. Not just here, but over where you are too.
Yeah, for real. Like, it's and it kind of made me go, God damn, why doesn't St. Louis do something like this? Like, it would be super easy to do.
Be the chain.
And it's just I think it was just like maybe a mile and a half walk. But you don't even notice, because there's like so much going on around you.
Yeah. So is it like was it like a Goth event, or is it like been Whitbyfied, or is it always been like that? If you get what I mean.
I think so. Basically, the Halloween stuff, that's always been like that, apparently. Dusty from Vision Video would know more about that. His whole point behind Southern Gothic is for it to take place at the very end, which honestly, after seeing it, makes a lot of sense. Because, like, as soon as you reach the end, let's say you're not really, like, interested in a lot of this type of entertainment, so you go to Southern Gothic and you see a bunch of goth bands.
Yeah. So, kind of like the Tomorrow's Ghost.
Yeah.
And for the people that aren't into it, there's plenty of distractions along the way they can stop at.
Yeah, exactly.
After you run the gauntlet, you get to the goth club.
Yeah.
So is it like Tomorrow's Ghosts of Whitby then? It's like separate, but at the same time?
Yeah, it's kind of separate, but at the same time.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Is that all the weeks?
As far as the bands go, I sadly didn't stay for a whole bunch, because I'm getting old and I'm usually tired by 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Thanks, partially.
Did they put you on a skillet?
Oh no.
Yeah, they didn't put me on a skillet this time.
Oh yes!
But I was just...
Yay!
This was probably the first really big concert I'd been to in a while, so it's really overwhelming. And I also was getting eye issues again, so I was just like not feeling it really well. But I did get to see Panic Priest, which was one of the big ones I really wanted to see. And then after that, I was like, all right, I'm going to bed.
Fair dues. And you want to go Aytakks, if that's everything, mate?
Okay, yeah, I've got a couple of gigs that I went to in the meantime. First was the one I was DJing at that I mentioned all the way back in part 1. So, yeah, a couple of episodes ago, but that was like a few days after we recorded. And that was a really good night. I think they were expecting to get better numbers there, but it went really well. I played some songs. One of the songs I played was Susie Sabotage's Nazi Goths Fuck Off, and I think it offended somebody.
Oh, boo-hoo.
How sad do you know that?
I think they thought I played it referring to them. It's like, no, I actually planned on playing it before I even turned up, just to make a statement.
What happened?
And I'm kind of glad I did, because one of the bands, they're actually coming back in January. I'm going to see them again. I'm probably going to butcher the name because it's in German. Skoiditzer Cruise.
You want me to say?
I'm going to be doing something regarding them later in the episode. I wasn't sure what to think when I saw him, but then I go on his Instagram later, and it's like he's selling these badges that say trans positive anti-fascist synth crust. Oh yeah. And I thought, I've got to get one of those. I checked on his band merch, and he's actually selling patches of them.
Nice.
So it's like, cool, I'll get that. He sent me the badge too, so it's like, that's awesome. But because he's sort of like, you see a white dude sort of, wearing the patch jacket and the bald head and that, you're not sure what to think, especially in industrial with the way the lines have been blurred recently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they were on third. The first band, or I should say the first artist, Subterranea, she has an amazing voice, and she does a lot of things like music for video games and that. So that was cool. The Coldfield played second. They're the local Adelaide band. They almost weren't going to play, but they ended up doing it, and everyone was so glad they did, because Coldfield were the main reason for me even going. And they were fantastic. I've got a video of a couple of their songs on YouTube. And I talked to Ian afterwards, who's sort of like the singer, keyboardist, guitarist of the band. And we get along good. It's nice. And Attrition at the end, I finally recognised their music from when he's doing vocals to one of his tracks. It's like, I've heard this in an EDM remix before, like in a hardcore EDM song. So that was weird, but they're pretty good. I can understand the appeal with them. Every artist was different, but when Attrition played, it was almost like a supergroup, because Skoiditzer Cruise was doing all the background music, Subterranea was doing backup vocals, and of course Attrition was doing what Attrition does, doing the vocals and everything. And it's weird because it's like he does this shtick where he's got a bunch of burning incenses in his hand through most of the performance, like he's holding a cigar.
Black news.
There's a whole bundle of them burning. So it's really cool with that. And like, at one point he had like a lyric sheet, he tore it up and was throwing it out at the crowd like glitter. And yeah, it was a great show, that one.
Fair dues.
The next one was about a month later. This one was at a different venue where Coldfield were playing again. It was like a mini festival with 5 bands all up, and one band was it was their debut live show. Another band was doing I think it was an album or a single launch. But the problem was, the day of the performance of the show, Ian from the Coldfield messages me and says, "Hey, do you want to DJ tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can. Yeah, sure. I'll bring the gear. I'll do what I can. I don't mind." And I got there and found out 2 of the bands had to pull out. Both of them because of COVID. One of them I was looking forward to seeing. That was, what were they called? Blood Circle, I think. They looked really cool, kind of a dark wavy sort of thing. But the big killer was Mono World pulled out. They were the ones that were doing the single album launch. So we're reduced to Grobian, who'd never performed before, Shuriken Cell, which the crowd loved it. Not really my thing. Felt a little screamo-ish to me. It was like a cross between screamo and industrial
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and hip hop. It was interesting. Not really my thing, but the crowd loved it. And of course, the Coldfield were headlining, and they just had me DJing it afterwards.
They're kind of like aesthetic perfection or something like that.
Huh?
Kind of like aesthetic perfection or something like that.
No. This is more. It reminded me more of like an emo, like screamo sort of thing,
Okay.
mixed with hip hop,
Oh,
but with kind of industrially music.
yeah.
So it was an interesting mix. The crowd really liked it. They're really sort of getting into it with the head banging to it and that. That was I had to go outside with Ara though. She couldn't handle it. So I brought Ara along. She loved seeing the Coldfield play though. Right up her alley. They did really well, and of course I was completely hammered and I danced like an idiot. Fuck you, I'm drunk! On a concrete floor.
Oh no!
And my knees let me know the next day that I was dancing like an idiot on a concrete floor for an entire set.
Oh no!
That was not a very fun time. But I've got to say one thing about Ancient World. They make a wicked Bloody Mary.
That is. Aren't you fucking one?
That was the last drink I had, and that was all I needed at that point. I was nicely drunk before then, and suddenly I was not. Fuck you, I'm drunk!
You want a beer? Nah, I take a Bloody Mary. Cheers.
I had a couple of beers earlier. Actually, no, I had one beer because I was playing Highlander.
Fair dude.
There may be only one, or in this case, you may drink only one.
Bloody Marys are great.
I just can't imagine you drinking Bloody Marys.
It was nice. It was great. I like cocktails though.
I like it if they're spicy. If they're spicy.
I mean, who doesn't
Yeah.
like pina coladas and taking walks in the rain?
Sorry.
Well, I like pina
I mean,
colada.
if you're in the mood of like drinking a alcoholic pizza, liquid pizza, Bloody Marys are great.
I like tequila sunrises. They are amazing.
I was gonna say, there's this really weird thing about drinking beers and cocktails. It's like this thing with men. It's like, oh, you're a puffer because you drink cocktails, and it's like cocktails are stronger. I've never understood that logic.
Oh yeah, it was like drinking Guinness. It was a meal, like Long Island iced tea.
Mhm.
Oh my god, those things go down so well.
Yeah, those are deadly.
They are, because you drink them like nothing, and then they hit you all at once.
I've never understood that logic. Yeah. I mean, I'll drink cocktails, no problem. I prefer. I mean, you get more bang for your buck anyway.
One of my favourite drinks is a fruit tingle.
Reminds
Aye.
me.
I just
Doesn't get more girly than
I
that.
just never understood that logic. It's stupid because like your average beer is like 4 to 6%, and it's like a fucking cocktail. It's like 20 to 60.
It's like the Ramones. Somebody put something in my drink when he says I never drink anything coloured pink. Why?
Gin and pink.
Like, I'm not a big fan of the color pink, but usually foods or desserts or drinks that are pink, I will drink and eat the shit out of it because it looks so good.
I mean, I don't care what colour it is, as long as it's good, you know.
I mean, I don't know what it is about pink.
I mean, Midori's like this horrible green that normally says, you know, poison,
Yeah.
don't drink me. People love that stuff.
Absinthe. Did you have anything else?
Absinthe, yes, which is poison and will kill you after you drink an entire bottle.
Did you have anything else to mention?
Only for the alcohol content,
Did you
though.
have anything else to mention, or is that everything?
I think that's pretty much it. Apart from New Year's, there's a furry event going on being run between a big company in Sydney that does it and ours, but I'm not DJing for that one, so Ara wants to go, so we go out for New Year's Eve. I get to take the night off and do whatever I like.
That is.
So that should be interesting. There is an event coming up that I can't go to for, let's just say, local political reasons, called Heartland. That's near the end of December. They play everything on vinyl.
Mm.
So, yeah. I used to go to it when it was running before. It's kind of returned after a few years. But yeah, as I said, I can't go to that because certain people are involved, and I know as soon as I turn up, they're just going to say, yeah, you out.
Fair enough. We'll leave it at that.
This is what the thing is. If they came to one of my events, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But all the animosity's on their end, so it's like, well, fine, whatever.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'm not going to go somewhere I'm not welcome.
Yeah.
Or I don't feel invited.
Yeah.
This is why I don't mind doing all the live gigs now. They turn up to one of those, hey, they're neutral ground. You can't do anything because I'm not running it, you're not running it.
Yeah. Or you don't own the venue or anything like that.
Oh, absolutely. But we have got plans in order, though, early next year for myself and a couple of people that used to run things to kind of get together as, I don't know if you call it a super team or not, but one of us ran, like, it's funny because when I ran the Attic, the venue that was kind of our rival was Necromancy. Yeah, I was DJing with Jack from Necromancy at the first gig I went to because we get along. I was a bit of a dickhead about it back then, though. I used to sort of see more in it, even though we didn't even run on the same night. It was always a case of, okay, we've got to be the guys on top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a bit too competitive with it.
You didn't have that. You didn't have that healthy competition or friendly competition kind of thing going on.
Well, the problem was it turned into a gimmick war. We'd do something, then they'd do something. We think, well, we got to do something better than that. And that's eventually how we ended up with the piercing suspension, which was freaking awesome, but we lost so much money over.
I think I saw that video.
Because in the end, the only people making money are the performers you're hiring, and you're just bleeding money doing that.
So,
yeah, exactly.
I've worked for a few competitors. It's not a big deal for me anyway. But I was going to say, for me, we recorded last before Halloween, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we did the Halloween event at Sal. That was a metal one because there was no goth ones on. But then a week or so later, there was a goth event at Requiem, and I got to hang out with Trevor Bamford, Nightbreed Records.
Nice.
It's Nightbreed Records. Get that out.
Yes, and you got him to call me a poser.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. I love that.
I'll re-record that. I got to hang out with Trevor Bamford of Nightbreed Record.
You should splice it in.
No.
So everyone could see. I give you permission to do it because it's hilarious.
Oh, I thought you meant.
I loved it.
I thought you meant me fucking up the name. Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, put that in. Or we could stick it in the bonus section or something.
Well, you're a massive fan of
oh hell yeah,
and the record company, so I thought I'd send you a video of him calling you a poser.
That was awesome. I remember you were saying that he didn't really want to do it.
No, he
because
didn't.
he thought he was being mean. He doesn't want to be mean.
No, he didn't. It took some convincing.
It's like, no, he loves this shit.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, and we've he said he'll come on the podcast. So see you New Year's.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that will be cool.
We're getting highbrow celebrities in. This is amazing.
Well, it's going to be interesting because he's also a psychologist. So
oh wow,
it's going to mingle well with goth discussions, and he's writing a book on the '90s goth scene in the UK. Currently.
Oh wow,
that will be some interesting conversation.
So we'll get free therapy.
Yeah. Just a crying session throughout the next 3 hours.
We're just going to get treated. It's like you're posers, but you won't be by the end.
Yeah, he came up with this term. I don't know what it was, but we'll discuss it then. It was basically, we were going over how goth's changed and how people want the label.
Yes.
Goth, and it was very, blaring music, so it was hard to say, and we'd both had drinks. But there was like this term for it that's like people want goth because it's seen as like a higher label or something to attain to gain publicity. Anyway,
yeah, that'll be super interesting.
Yeah,
it's about the clout. They want the name because they think it's cool and they think it will make them famous and give them Well, goth points.
It's not even. It's like people who don't even listen to it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to tell him.
They're
about-
doing it. It's the little definition of a poser. They're doing it to be cool.
I was telling him about Goth Rap, and he was just like, "What?" He hadn't even heard of it. It's just like, well, I'll have to listen to it, but it's just like, no, dude, don't. It's literally the same as what new metal would have been back then in the 90s to goth. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, Pepper.
You were going to say this bloke came up to me, and he called Aytakks a poser.
I was like, yeah. I was unfortunately Pepper got a bit sick, so she was. I think it was a bit of cystitis, and she got a limp, which I don't quite understand. But we put her on some anti-inflammatories, and she was back to normal in 3 days. And then Storm got to the medicine, so that was fun. Luckily, he didn't have any of it, so I had to go take a bloody Uber across.
He's like, why is she getting the special treat? Believe me, you do not want this.
Yeah, bloody Metacam. Thankfully, he didn't get.
But I want the injection in my bum.
So I had to go across, get another bloody Uber across town, and pay out my ass for some more medication. But she was fine, so it was literally pointless. So by that point, I don't know. I'll see if she needs it again. It should be alright. But thankfully, she's okay, and she recovered very quickly. They did find out she has a heart murmur
Nice.
at 13 years old, but I'm just like, they're like, has no one ever told you that? And I'm like, no. And I worked out the reason is because every time they've listened to her heart, they've said they couldn't hear anything because she was purring too loudly for the past 13 years. So yeah, you're gonna have to probably keep an eye on.
So in other words, she knew and she didn't want you to know.
Maybe.
That, or she's a bit of a sadist and vets make her happy.
No, she whines, she screams the whole way, and the doesn't scream, she just meows like constantly. She doesn't stop whenever we move somewhere or she has to go somewhere out the house.
But when she gets there, she purrs.
Yep. Don't ask me.
Probably because, like, oh, thank God it's not moving me anymore.
Well, they sometimes purr to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
With cats.
Coping mechanism, yeah.
Anyone want to take the first song? Because it's been half an hour.
I'll do the first one. Why not?
Go for it.
Okay. I'm going to play one from one of the bands that I saw, The Coldfield. They're a local Adelaide band. Been going for a few years. I haven't written down a whole heap of stuff about the bands this time. I thought, screw it. We're kind of recording last minute. I'm just going to wing it. We wanted to get one more in for the end of the year, you lucky posers.
That's why it's not a Christmas special, because we don't know when it'll be out.
And yeah, what's special about it? We're just doing an episode at the end of the year. That's all it is.
I couldn't think
Oh,
of
and I can see in Dean's camera, he's got a Christmas tree up.
Ah, it's a black,
We haven't even put ours
it's
up
a black
yet.
one, and it's fiber optic.
It's covered in Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, because I miss it so much.
Aurora Borealis.
Raw
At
boring.
this time of year, located in the entirety of Dean's Christmas tree.
Smash it? No.
So yeah, do you want to do your song? Or have you already said it?
Yes, the song is called All Alone. I have a bit of a theme. I'm going to, given that it's such a festive time of year, I'm going to make you all sad.
But not nice.
It's okay.
So, take it away with The Coldfields, All Alone.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Looking out the window, see a tiny little man in green. He tells me all the secrets by telepathic out there. Drink a little whiskey and I turn right up the stereo. Pirate in the corner wants to hang himself from his hole. Here we are, the walls are on. Lizard tails and ice cream. And I lie.
Cool.
I don't know if you guys have heard it or not, but
I should
yeah.
probably listen.
It's very Joy Division-ish.
Oh, that's cool.
Just
Bit of
Yeah.
post-punk.
pretend we're all crying
Yeah.
after the song.
Well, not really. It's not that sad. I'm saving the
Yeah.
saddest one till later.
Oh, you really are on one.
I'm more of in an angry mood, but I mean, with political bullshit and all, yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, I forgot to mention, like, we got the Christmas miracle of Pepper being a
We have the Ghost of Christmas Sadness, the Ghost of Christmas Anger,
anxiety.
and
Anxiety.
Dean is the Ghost of Christmas Anxiety.
I forgot to mention with the Christmas miracle with Pepper being okay. A few days later, my washer decided to flood the fucking kitchen. So you know, everything.
Oh.
It's fine because I've been doing I did 50 hours extra overtime for Black Friday, so I can just buy a new one.
Yeah.
So the 90
I didn't even know you guys.
Hmm?
This probably sounds weird, but I didn't even know you guys had Black Friday.
Yeah, we get it too.
Yeah, it's because of you guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And Cyber Monday. It's fine. I make fucking bank during that time. So
Yeah.
It's a good time to shop if you've got the money, especially if you're at a Bass Pro Shop.
The best place to shop, it's our Bass Pro Shop.
Only if it's in a pyramid.
Thankfully, you don't have to deal with Americans, because I'm pretty sure all your customers are a lot more chill. You're not trying to kill each other.
It's not as bad.
Oh, there are plenty of Karens. There are plenty of Karens, and when I use the term Karen, I use it to mean anyone.
Yeah, but do people live?
Be men, women, and anyone in between. They can all be Karens. It is a general term.
Not the Karens. I mean, literal people dying
Wow. Okay.
over.
Oh, we used to have that in the post-Christmas sales on Boxing Day.
Fuck me.
So we had something like it. I guess that's why they called it Boxing Day, because everyone would be fighting each other for the specials.
That makes sense.
Or it's also the Boxing Day because that's when you box up those gifts that you got that you don't want and hope they've kept the receipt.
That's pretty much the actual reason.
What's really funny is last year when we had Black Friday, it was dead. No one was going out. Everybody kind of realized, oh, these sales, they're actually kind of a ripoff. And then this year,
We have Black Friday at home.
yeah,
Internet.
yeah. And now this year everybody went out again. It's like, oh, nature is healing. And people are just beating the shit out of each other, and children are getting
The outdoors
trampled.
is good.
The Americans are lined up round the block. Yada yada.
Yep.
Black Friday is pain.
Death and despair.
There are people who literally spend the night. They'll like go have Thanksgiving and they'll be like, all right, bye. I'm gonna go sit outside the Best Buy for all night for some reason.
What did you do for Thanksgiving? Did you have a nice roast?
I had a really nice time, surprisingly. It was kind of nerve-wracking because this is kind of more of a personal matter, but I met my long lost, I wouldn't even say long lost because we knew about him, but I met my long lost nephew.
Ooh.
My sister had a kid that we knew about, and we kept it kind of a secret from the rest of the family because it's none of their fucking business. But my sister was just like, I can't have this kid, and the kid was given to another family for adoption, and many years later they're an adult now, and they were just like, I want to meet my biological family, and this kid fit in like a missing puzzle.
Oh, wow.
piece. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like
So they reached out.
he's a huge theater nut, which is like exactly the type of kid my mom would have wanted. Like, my mom always wanted to be the theater mom because she like constantly, like, she was one of the first to kind of go see Rocky Horror Picture Show in theaters and probably went like the entire month as many times as possible.
Nice.
So we found out that he was performing in Repo, the genetic rock opera. He's performing as Pavi.
Oh, wow. Which is like the modern version of it,
Yeah.
in a way.
So it's like, it's so weird, but it's also kind of great. And it's also just really cool that we found out that he's trans and we had nothing to do with it. Whereas my other nephew is also trans.
If anything says that it's genetic,
Yeah, exactly.
there's your proof.
Yeah, exactly.
Did they reach out to you? So they reached out to you.
They reached out to my sister first, obviously, because that's their mom.
Oh, yeah.
So they met up first, and then they were like, I want to meet the rest of the family on Thanksgiving. So they came out, and we just had a wonderful time. We played cards. No, we didn't play Cards Against Humanity. We played like a different game. But we had such a fun time, and we just immediately clicked. I gave Christmas presents early because I wasn't sure if we were going to be out for Christmas, but I think as of now we are. So I gave him an old Christmas tree that actually, like a miniature one, that actually belonged to his mom.
Oh, wow.
And I took it, and it has like a bunch of tiny miniature ornaments from different members of the family. And I was just like, you know what? I don't really need this. He will probably like it, and he's also moving into a new apartment.
Nice.
So he's
Wholesome?
yeah. He, like, tears were shed. Everybody was happy. And now this Christmas I get to meet his girlfriend, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to tell them, hey, I'm leaving the country.
So you're confirmed, or?
Yes, it's confirmed
That's
now.
just
Unless the visa absolutely completely falls through, there's no way. But we're definitely determined to move to Portugal as of either January or February of next year.
Damn,
Wow.
son.
Damn, son.
Ready to go Whitby Goth, eh?
Yeah.
It's funny, the first time he got elected, people talked about moving. This time they're actually doing it.
Yeah, I'm really curious how many people, like, before January 20th are just gonna be out of here.
I don't think as many as people who say it will, but I'm certain some will. Yeah.
But people are actually doing it this time, though. That's the difference.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot more people. I'm actually really shocked more people haven't, like, of our friends haven't, like, come across and said, hey, can we, like, join you in, like, a caravan kind of thing?
Sorry, I've just got to show everyone Marmalade. She's been pestering me to be let out.
Aww.
As you can see, she's a rather round cat. even with
You've
a
got the luxury.
summer coat, she is. But I've just got to let her out. I'll be back in a sec.
Sure thing.
Okay. Got the luxury version of my cat.
The upgrade. I just have a calico. I think they're pretty rare. Well, they're not that rare, but she's the typical Japanese calico.
That didn't take long. She does that every time. I know she wants to be let back out of the room because she'll just start she only wants me when she wants something.
Oh yeah.
It's like, let me open. You're the door opener. Open the door.
Out of curiosity, because we're talking about Thanksgiving, do you two, in your countries, do Sunday roasts? Sunday roasts?
Sunday roast.
That's more something my grandmother and my father does.
Well, Meg, a Sunday roast is basically it's Thanksgiving meal, but we in Britain do it on every Sunday. Well, not even every Sunday. It's just a roast meal.
With the family and everything.
No.
Yeah, it's traditional.
No, because for one, my family's not very religious, and Sundays are a very religious kind of day of the week. So it's kind of when it comes to Thanksgiving, it's kind of it's usually on a Thursday anyway, every year. So we just.
Oh yeah, we do it. We do it anytime. Doesn't have to be Sunday. It's just generally is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the Sunday roast because traditionally
Yeah.
in England that's when it was. In Australia, it's a bit different because the weather's not quite conducive to having roasts all the time. Even though we're looking at doing something like that for Christmas because it's just what you do.
That is. We should probably move on to a golf topic.
Oh, I just want to say real quick, it's just kind of funny because it's we're also mostly Native American family.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily celebrate Thanksgiving. I usually just call it Turkey Day because it's just
That's a bit like how Australia Day here, Indigenous Australians, many of them call it Invasion Day.
We don't go that dark, but
we should. I was going to say you can just call it a Harvest Festival.
Harvest Festival, yeah.
Well, it is literally the day that the First Fleet landed. That's why they call it Invasion Day. Because it's like a celebration of, this is the day Australia started. It's like, this is the day the nightmare began.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we get, it's just an excuse for our family to get together and we eat good food and we talk about how thankful we are while we're eating. We don't do that prayer bullshit before we eat. We're too hungry for that.
Nah, fuck that.
It's a bit like how anyone could celebrate Christmas because it's more of just a Western tradition, not necessarily religious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoy Christmas even as a Celtic pagan. I still celebrate Yule. For lack of a better word for it, but I do both. I get my presents on the 21st. I give mine out on the 21st, and then just Christmas is just wholesome. Just get pissed.
Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk.
Eat some food you normally don't eat, sort of thing.
Pissed as in drunk, not angry. For the Yanks.
Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk.
Yeah, okay, let's move on. So, time to get ranty. So, we are going to discuss the Cleopatra charade.
AI Goth Watch is filmed in front of a barely alive studio audience. Tonight on AI Goth Watch.
Does anyone want to explain it? Because I don't know it as well as everybody else does. I think it's the singer from Le Fay, isn't it? Yeah, wasn't the singer...
I can give it a shot if you like. Or if Mystic wants to take...
Yeah, I can kind of, because I've kind of looked into it a lot more. So basically, there's a couple things going on with Cleopatra Records. First of all, there are quite a few bands using AI art for album covers, and I don't necessarily want to blame the artists because I don't know what.
I've noticed it's mostly on Spotify and other streaming services.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's just like the artist's fault or if it's literally the record company being like, nah, we'll make this for you and just shout out an AI thing. But the big story as of right now is Cleopatra Records using an AI voice for I think the band's called the Dead Boys. I remember we literally watched a movie not too long ago.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, and they basically kicked the newest lead singer out of the band.
Oh, yeah, that big thing with the lead singer.
Yeah, and they're gonna replace it with an AI voice of the original singer who is dead. Yeah, and while I'm not
it's apt, but it's awful.
Yeah, and
isn't there something else to that as well? Because they wanted to use the singer from Le Fay as the bassist, the bassist to create the voice of him.
Maybe I have no idea.
So I remember something about that. Okay. Anyway.
I mean, regardless, it's.
But yeah, that's because he did a rant about it or something. But
yeah, I'm not even a big fan of the band, but it's definitely one of those things where it's just like we might as well just
a cause for concern.
Yeah, it's a very huge cause of concern because this isn't. We don't want AI to replace artists. We want AI to replace, fucking dishwashers and shit we don't want to do.
Yeah, there's also.
But you do have a lot of artists that make things where they're using AI assisted tools. Like a lot of like drawing artists will use that sort of thing now. But they're still putting enough creativity of their own into it to make it their own.
Yeah, and that's fine.
So there's a difference between using a tool and letting the tool do all the work.
Yeah, it's kind of like I remember this when I was in Photoshop class. My teacher was showing us something with like the stamp tool, where you could take like a bunch of basically turn an image into a pen tool and just make a bunch of copies of it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh wow, look at that, I don't have to draw. And he's like, yeah, don't fucking do this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, because is Rosetta Stone also on Cleopatra?
They're one of the ones.
Yeah, because this was a few months ago as well, where they were also using AI.
And they're the ones that were noticed on Spotify that I saw. Mm-hmm. They're the first ones that people started to mention. It's like, is this an AI image?
Definitely.
Because it looks very similar to their older artwork. And then there were some that were like really left of field and very similar to some of the AI images we've come up with just playing around with AI generators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go without knowing for certain if they're on Cleopatra, but yeah.
But it looks like, though, it's not them doing it, it's Cleopatra doing it.
I believe they are now.
Well, the question is like, how much does an artist have in freedom of creating their album covers? Because I would have thought that they would be making the decisions themselves, because, or maybe I'm just used to lesser large bands.
Well, it depends, because in these cases, you'd think the album cover already exists. This is more just for certain songs. Like there'll be a compilation, and they'll put a different icon on each song, which is pretty much what they're doing with it. So it's not even a proper album cover, or even meant to be. It's just some, I guess, an interesting piece of artwork to differentiate the songs. I don't know. It's weird because no one really does that anyway.
Yeah. My guess is it's in the contract because, I mean, if I were a music artist, the last thing I kind of want to focus on is album art. Like, I can give a general idea.
The thing is, Rosetta Stone's album art is so iconic. It always looks very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you mess with success? They're known for that.
Yeah.
I thought there's one with that massive house on the front. Well, unless it's an earlier one. This looks a bit different. But yes, they are on Cleopatra. I've just had a look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other one was Lebanon Hanover, which that one really pissed me off because it's so simple.
Yes.
It's so simple.
Yes, you're right.
And I really wanted to do it, but I didn't have the time, I might do it later, but like it's one of those things where it's like you can just change up certain things in the image and it wouldn't be AI generated anymore. It would be original. But it's such a like at first look it looks fine, but it's one of those things where it's like you look at the random symbols and it's just like, why the fuck is this all here?
So we can do we conclude that the record company is just trying to save money instead of paying someone to make a decent album cover by the looks of it? Because why else would they be doing it?
I would say whoever's doing their streaming services. I don't know. Have you seen the album covers outside of there though? Is it just all the stuff that's been pointed out that I've seen is on Spotify?
I don't know. You know what?
And Spotify have a terrible rep for paying bands.
Yeah, but let me check Bandcamp real quick. Let me check like Lebanon Hanover's Bandcamp.
Because if they're using the same one on Bandcamp, that is concerning.
Yeah. Let's see Bandcamp.
Lebanon Hanover are not with they're not with Cleopatra. They're with Fabrica.
I thought they were with Cleopatra.
So I've just googled. I might be wrong, but Lebanon Hanover.
But Cleopatra aren't what they used to be. Anyway.
They're signed to Greece's record label, Fabrica Records.
Cleopatra is also gaining a reputation for signing all the problematic artists.
Yeah, Rosetta. Not Cleopatra. But yeah, wasn't there like a thing between like a side of each that people loved Cleopatra Records or you loved Nightbreed?
Tune in next time for more AI Goth Watch. Please?
Music.
Well, it was more Nightbreed versus Project in the 90s.
Project.
You people from the UK and Australia were more Nightbreed, and people in the USA were Project.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
So different styles of music, really. Like that's one of the reasons why I don't really get into ethereal, because it just wasn't that big here. But you could still access the records and import them, but well, CDs at the time, everything was on CD. But we tended to get all the Nightbreed stuff because that was what our local DJs were into, so we got into it too. And when we had people that were into Project, it was all like, yeah, you can't dance to that. Even though some of it you can.
Yeah.
But I've noticed the big ethereal fans tend to be Americans.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I mean, I'm not huge on ethereal. There's some stuff I like.
It's definitely a regional thing.
We like our chill shit.
Whereas down in Mexico, they're really big into death rock.
Yeah.
Well, that's near California, isn't it? So that's where it originated. But I was going to say in the UK, we tend to love our goth rock and dark wave.
Exactly,
I think.
yeah.
But I've noticed that a lot of our goth rock is parody based. That's not taken too seriously. Most of Scary Bitches and stuff.
Well, then you've also got
they take it seriously.
Within Europe itself, they tend to see bands like Blutangle and Asp as goth, and everyone else is like, nah.
Yeah, they do call it that, oddly. So I think Germans have their own category for that stuff. What they call that genre. I don't know.
A lot of it, if it counts as Neue Deutsche Art, that tends to get lumped in with goth. But the whole point of Waja scene, I think it's called, it's meant to just mean dark scene. They kind of lump it all together. But they're also lumping in things like black metal and gothic metal and that as part of it.
Yeah, that's weird. But they're written, yeah, with New Deutsche Harte, that's kind of their own thing.
You just look at the bands they have playing at Mariluna and Wave Gothic Treffen. They cover that whole wide range. Even though Mariluna seems to go more on the metal side of things. But
it's like industrial, but yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Did you find out, Meg?
I didn't see it on Bandcamp, actually. I'm trying to look at Spotify, but...
Meanwhile, in Australia, we'll take whatever bands we can get.
Yeah.
Guys are desperate.
Well, that's why I liked having the local stuff happening. It's like, if we can get more of this stuff happening, and the Coldfield has some international reputation, that they can help drag some other bands up. Because we've got some good stuff happening.
I forgot to mention that one of our Goth Nights is finishing, Bela Lugosi's Shed. So we were just left with Requiem and Spellbound now. I'm kind of debating on doing one of my own to bring it back, but it's I don't know if I can be asked. I mean, my own thing, my own Goth Night, but we'll see if it to just give more frequency, because Spellbound is every 2 months and Requiem is like every 3 or 4 months. So we'll see. But
So what you were saying is, pretty soon you will be unshed.
I put that in the comments. Just put a thumbs up. That was like sad face.
Oh, Bella.
But yeah.
Bella's unshed.
Yeah, this song is not on. Yeah, the song is called Abracadabra, by the way. Released in 2024.
Oh, that would be why it's got all the weird sort of mystical text. It's like a Killstar hoodie exploded all over it.
Well, that's one way.
Yeah, but yeah, it's only on Spotify. It's not on Bandcamp at all. Interesting.
Which means whoever they've got in their company running their Spotify side of things is just being really freaking lazy.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to pay any money for things. And they're taking shortcuts. It's like, hey, it's going to make our albums look better. It's like, no, it's not.
Do you guys?
People could see what you're doing and they don't like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should do second song and then move on to another subject. So whoever wants to do the second one, I don't mind if you want to, Meg.
So are we going to do angry or anxiety?
You want to, Meg?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Go for it.
So this next song is probably a song you all know. It is by London After Midnight.
Oh yeah.
And it is the beginning of the end.
You motherfuckers, man.
Can't escape the truth. Matter what you want to believe, it always comes back to you. Let me down. You have left me cold. You don't understand. You haven't won. You've begun. It's begun. The beginning of the end. I will not forget.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. This I'd say that
I don't know. That's more angst than anger.
Yeah,
I guess angst is a form of anger.
it is.
Or emotive anger. I don't know. Oh god, now we're going into emo territory.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Emo suck my goth balls.
Free Luigi. Wah.
no, that's Wario.
Wah?
I thought it was Waluigi.
Wah?
That's Waluigi is the visitor for you. I'm just looking at some subjects. Aytakks got one. I'll do. Who are we counting the AIs as? It's kind of all of us, isn't it? I can do one out. We can discuss. Fuck it, I'll do Vampire Freaks as a nostalgia section.
Yeah.
For this one.
Well, it's one we keep putting off, so we might as well get it out the way.
So my question is there a place for? I know you guys fucking hate Vampire Freaks. I liked it.
I was on it for a few years. That's how I learned enough about it, so...
I didn't hate it. I just hated the pedophiles that were on it.
Oh, the sleaze element. The things I didn't like was the sleaze element and the mislabeling of bands, which was constant.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, they did not protect. Yeah.
So Vampire Freaks started in like 1999. I'm just doing a bit of an intro, and the question is, really, could it be done today well without all the crap? as an actual goth social media site.
Well, the problem is it changed over the years as well.
Yeah. I also hated the popularity contest where you could upvote people. You know, you could like points based to like make people be so up their own arse.
You rate their photos, and that will create a whole heap of drama if you go. Someone posts a photo and you give it a low score, and they actually know you gave it a low score, and they could then say, "Hey, why'd you give my photo a low score?" But I think a lot of that though was an extension of the old. There used to be a thing back in the 90s called Goth Girl of the Week, and people would either choose them or vote them. There was also another thing where you could submit photos anonymously and people would vote, kind of like a goth or not thing, and people would
by fashion
rate them on a scale for that as well. But it was all voted anonymously.
Yeah. You want to talk about fucking gatekeeping.
And of course I stupidly put one of my photos on there. Same photo I used to use as Poser Joe.
I was going to say...
Did you?
And then someone local found it. It was like, okay, it begins.
I just miss the editing aspect of it. You could make it your own, and you could play music. I mean, like, I know Meg's gonna go on with Space Hay, which we're on. You can do that on there now, which was like so much fun to make a new profile using HTML. That's one of the aspects I miss, because all social media now looks corporate and it's shite. So
it's all templates.
It's all boring and crap, and there's no soul to it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't mind Blue Sky at the moment. I think what Twitter wanted to be originally, but the celebrities took over, and that hasn't happened yet. It's more of an artist space at the moment.
Yeah, celebrities.
I'm enjoying it, and I hate it personally.
If it stays that way, that'll be amazing. But I've had people add my account that's like, oh, you're just friend collecting.
Someone said that to you?
Like, you don't even know who I am. I've got no idea who you are. You're just trying to get nice big friend tallies. It's like, nah, I'm not following you back. Screw you.
No.
Oh, yeah, I don't follow the people who have like thousands, unless they're like someone known to me.
Yeah.
But I generally just only follow people I know, or they've spoken to me or seem cool, or interact with my photography or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue Sky is more of it is a lot like Twitter, because I think the person who designed Blue Sky is actually one of the people who designed Twitter. So they were kind of pissed off at Elon and were just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing my own thing with blackjack and hookers.
It's like that meme with the MAGA hat going, you all you lefties have to listen to us now, and they're all off in Blue Sky.
The thumbs up meme from far away.
Yeah, that's the one.
I was going to say, I do have a funny story about Vampire Freaks, going back to that. There was like an argument about what goth is, and this guy was going on about Goth Rap, saying how it's like goth and whatnot, and I just put out the points, and he's like, I can't remember what it was, but he said to me,
how many years ago was that though?
What, when this argument took place?
Yeah.
About 4 years ago. On Facebook this was. And he went to me.
Oh.
He said to me, well, if you want to prove how goth you are, I was on Vampire Freaks in 2010 or something, he said to me. And I was like, weird flex, but okay. I was on Vampire Freaks in like 2004. Do not recite the old magic to me. I was there when it was written. Even though that is the weirdest flex, and I don't give a shit, you know. But if you want to play that game...
You have chosen poorly!
Dean has spoken.
It is over, posers!
But, yeah, the real question I'm thinking is, would a goth social media site work nowadays? I don't think so. But it'd be nice to try.
I think it won't work for one main reason. And it's the same reason why Vampire Freaks didn't work.
What, for a while?
It will attract thousands and thousands of leg humpers.
Yeah.
Definitely, but...
Back then, the things like the Big Titty Goth Girlfriend meme wasn't even a thing. And it was doing it.
No, it was more like underage goth.
It also didn't help that Jet did things like he had a competition at one stage where if you posted a picture of topless with the words vampirefreaks.com written across your chest, you got a year of free premium membership. Now, admittedly, he did not discriminate between men and women for that, but a lot of people that were doing it, they had no way of checking if they were underage or not.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, free premium for a teenager is a very, very enticing carrot to dangle because it allows you to do so much more on there. I actually had premium a couple of times that was either gifted to me or I earned through some whatever. I can't even remember now. I was using Vampire Freaks from about 2007, I think, till about 2012. And I finally left just when I just had enough of it. You may know one of the moderators in our Goth, Malkavian. He used to run Gothic International there, which was one of the more legit goth music cults. I hate the fact they called them cults on there.
Oh, they did, didn't they? Yes, the forum. Yeah.
Not surprised, but I can mention that later.
It was just so on the nose.
Yeah, same.
And I've got a few people that I still keep in contact with from back then. Have you ever heard of a YouTuber named Leah Mouse? I used to know her on Vampire Freaks as well when she was new. So, and even back then, sort of in the True Goths group and that, oh man, we were complete bastards with the applications. But we were doing it mainly for our own personal amusement because they'd only see if it was accepted or rejected most of the time. But you get quite snarky in the comments why. The thing is, though, their thing included the whole Beauty and Darkness stuff and all that, and, which I didn't believe in, but it's like, rules are rules. You go with that. Yeah, it was when people joined, it reminds me a lot of Gothic Discord. How a lot of people join.
I mean, you can't talk about music all the time.
And then they talk about anything but goth.
I mean, it's fine if it's people talk about lifestyle and stuff like that. But, I mean, the music is first and foremost.
That tends to happen in so many goth spaces.
Meg, do you think it would work? Because you didn't say.
I think it would work, but you have to have the security for it. One of the reasons I do like Space Hay is because they're very they do have strict security. Like, they have volunteer moderators there.
So it's heavily moderated.
It's heavily moderated, but you do have to email them if you see something that's upsetting. But I have I've come across quite a few people who like on the subreddit who complained about, like, oh, my friend got kicked off, and then you find out later it's because they posted some fucking hateful shit about, like, the Holocaust or something, and it's like, well, yeah, no shit.
Of course you got kicked off.
Yeah.
I think definitely.
Oh, they're like, my freedoms!
Yeah, exactly.
It's meant to be freedom of speech. What they don't realise is internet forums are not freedom platforms, they're dictatorships.
They're not even
run by the moderation team.
Yeah.
All of them are like that. If you don't toe the line and obey the rules, you're out of there.
Not to mention, it's like, it's the World Wide Web.
No.
It's not the United States. So, like,
if you want complete freedom, go to 4chan.
Yeah, or like...
And even then, they have limits.
Yeah. Yeah, and the creator of Space Hay is a German student. So, of course, he's going to be like, yeah, no, you can't. Like, when it comes to World War II shit, he's probably going to take that down because he's scared that it's going to get shut down.
They will in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
In Germany, absolutely.
You're not allowed to talk about, well, you are, but there's a lot of restrictions on what you can say.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of have to, go by those rules, and, he's got to be careful with that because he doesn't want the website to get shut down. It just, like, reached 1 million users. So, but yes, I do believe that it can be made. It needs to be heavily moderated, and you got to make it to where, like, teens and, I think everybody on Space Hay kind of has a good agreement on do not interact if you are 18, if you're under the age of 18.
Yeah.
Like,
It just didn't work on them.
One thing that's interesting along those lines they want to try and get happening here in Australia is restricting the age of social media. You know how pretty much all of them are 13 or older.
They're doing it to 16, aren't they?
They want to raise it to about 15 or 16 here.
I don't blame them one bit.
I think it's for the best.
The thing is, though, it won't do anything because what do kids do? They lie about their age.
Yeah.
How many people went on to Vampire Freaks and lied about their age?
Same.
The difference is Jet didn't care.
I think what they're going to do in Australia is you have to provide proof and then they'll give you the account.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It depends, though, because some social media platforms are more strict on that than others. Facebook are too strict to the point where trans people have to go by their dead names in a lot of cases, or they lose their account, and that's terrible.
Yeah, that's not right.
No.
I was going to say, I don't know if I support that 16 plus thing. In a way, I'm kind of like, because it would be hypocritical because of us, the way we did, but social media is not the same as it was when we were in our teens.
No.
It's far worse now.
Yeah.
There's so much crap. And like,
it's a lot more invasive as well.
Yeah, and it's a lot more easier to bully people.
People are like, you look at even toddlers, they're getting so addicted to screen time.
I was watching.
You take their phone or their tablet off and they throw tantrums.
That's terrifying because it's saying that people are so addicted to the kids are so addicted that they have to have two screens on at once.
Yeah, and the worst part is you've got people making deliberate toddler bait on YouTube and other platforms where it's constantly keeping them stimulated, and it makes them overstimulated. Because that's not the way nature works.
There's a thing in schools now. Teachers are saying that the parents are. God, I sound like a boomer. Parents are not. They're just shoving the screens in front of the kids, and the thing is that they are so behind in education levels. Like they're like 4 or 5 years behind what they should be, and there are people who are like 12 years old and they can't write.
The idiocracy is happening.
That's scary. But in a way, I kind of support it.
This is like the hypothetical. So Haven and I are never going to have children. We've decided that, but we get into hypothetical or arguments over how we would raise a child. And one of those things is I would never get our kid a cell phone or a smartphone. At least I would get them like a Nokia brick phone and a typewriter.
Yeah. Same.
Our lot didn't have mobile phones till they were teenagers, basically, partly because of the cost, but also in Ara's case, she's lost a couple of phones, so we don't want to get her any expensive ones, and we tend to get the cheaper things anyway that don't necessarily run all that stuff as well. James had major issues with social media. A lot of that extended from bullying that would follow him home, and they'd just keep it up on social media, but then he'd make YouTube videos and stuff. He actually got suspended for a YouTube video he made once that was threatening a student that was bullying him.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yet the bully got off scot-free. That's just how things are. Because the bullies are smart.
And that's a stupid thing in America where they, is it like both get expelled if there's a fight? That's so stupid.
Sometimes they take the bully side. It really depends. I remember when I was in elementary school, I was like 8 years old at the time. And I remember this girl on the bus who was way older than me, like middle school age. And she kept like picking on me. And I like turned around one day and I told her that I'd shoot her in the face. And again, I'm an 8-year-old. I don't have a gun. So I threatened to shoot her in the face. And
you're on the ground now. FBI open up.
Yeah, and apparently I got in trouble.
Were you around 8 years old around Columbine by any chance?
Yeah.
There you go.
But I'm the one who got in trouble, but not her. But she didn't mess with me again after that, so that's the important thing.
Oh no, I completely support smacking a bully up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, if that ever happened with any of mine, Galen was the defender where he'd defend his friends from that sort of thing. And if he ever got suspended for anything, I'd be like Hank Hill. I'd be seeing that as a positive circumstance.
Good on you, son.
It's a circus out there.
Anything anyone?
He never got suspended though for that. But yeah, it was cool. He just had his graduation recently and
Yeah.
meeting his friends there. It still spins me out when you've got kids that have basically their parents moved to Australia, but they've lived here all their life, so they've got the full Aussie accent.
Oh, aye. Yeah.
But you're used to seeing all the adults speaking with a more foreign English accent, but their kids sound just like the rest of us. It's like, I love that. I love that.
Funny.
Let's just hope they don't turn into lazy workers like the rest of us. Aussies are slackers.
We should probably move on. Unless anybody else has anything else to add.
No.
I feel like the camera.
I'm just trying to think if there's any other controversies I can think of. There were a few. I mean, right now, Vampire Freaks, they're running the conventions.
And they have a online store. Yeah.
And they've got the website.
So
they had the store as part of it anyway. So they just never took the store down. I actually bought a T-shirt from them that a friend of mine that was actually in True Goths, funny enough, he was more of a cyber, designed this T-shirt. It looks like a Cyberdog design. You've probably seen some photos of me wearing it. Because it's a really cool design. And that's the only thing I've ever bought from their store. But it is well made.
Yeah.
What would you say?
They don't sell bad stuff.
No, they don't.
It still looks good now, 10, 15 years later.
What would you say in regards to the old internet goth sites, like GothNet sites, in regards to those? How would you compare? I don't know, because like on gothnet.uk, you could sign up. I think you had to be over a certain age, but it was also that it was almost unmoderated, but anything that was started a quote-unquote flame war, they would step in on what is goth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking in comparison to like the old goth sites, I do miss that.
We had oz.org.au. Same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Most of it was as a complement to IRC, and we were mostly on undernet.org. Of course, you've got all the different IRC things as well, and different...
That's the thing.
Things. I wasn't... Things like the bulletin boards and that was before my time.
Yeah, but that's the thing I'm saying, because there was like when I remember going on so many different goth sites back in the day that all had their own little communities.
And you didn't have a search engine to find them. The only way you found them was by going to certain ones.
You had to know their address.
And following the trail of links.
And all the little goth lists.
I don't think a goth specific social media site could work, but if you have like an alternative one where like a lot of people who have...
There is one.
Which one?
There's one in the UK. I think it's called Alt something, but it's kind of a dating site, but also a social media.
Oh. Ugh. No dating.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no.
Kind of dead. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not like Tinder or anything. It's more like MySpace.
I mean, the main thing is those sites died for a reason, because
that's the problem.
You could do everything they did in Facebook groups.
And it's like I'm trying to talk it to Pete to get the groups, looking in the goth groups.
Like that's what killed all the old local forums, and that was everyone switched to Facebook. MySpace didn't kill them. It was Facebook that did it.
I was gonna say, with the stuff on like Space Hey, I'm like posting in the goth groups and people ain't replied, and it looks like the main ones were done like a year ago or something. It's like I went back on Geiger Online. Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah.
I went back on Geiger Online and I was trying to find the goth groups. They died like 10, 15 years ago, which is sad. I hate that Facebook has the monopoly on this shit.
I love the old was it Envision forum system. I love that system.
I mean, we got Reddit. That's technically forum groups.
That's what I was going to say.
Reddit is the closest thing to an old forum we've got. And Reddit's like a super forum.
Yeah, and
But that's the thing, though. People expect channels like Goth to be to cover everything. It's like, this is why we created things like Goth Club and Darkly Inclined and Goth Fashion and all that. So it's more structured, like the old forums were, where you have your different sections. Because that's how they were. They weren't just a free-for-all in one place.
yeah, and that's the problem, because they don't see it that way.
No.
They don't see it as a network of different goth forums like the old days. Probably because...
Whereas us older people, we do.
Yeah.
But they're like, everything in one spot.
It must be.
What do you mean you won't let me post my selfies and treat it like my own personal social media?
Oh my god, no way!
I think the one thing that if any of these new websites, whether they're Space Hay or even if a new goth website wants to pop up, the groups and forums aren't the way to do it. Like, that's the easy way to do it, but people aren't gonna be inclined to, get involved. I think what they need to do is they need to do events. They need to start utilizing the idea that we could make, because that's what Facebook was great for, was making events and posting events, and it's still good for that, but you have to pay in order for people to even fucking see it.
Unless you got a lot of word of mouth going. And that is so hard to generate.
Yeah.
Because they might not even see the post.
Yeah, so if you make an alternative site, where it's specifically focused on either music or alternative subcultures, and you focus on like events where people can post about their local events, and they like people who...
Oh, you know what the worst part about Facebook is, though? Say you make an event and you invite everyone on your friend list. If you don't get many responses, they reduce how many people you can invite next time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Looking at you, YouTube.
Yeah, I've had it happen so many times.
That sucks.
They may have stopped doing it now, but for a while, it was as if they were trying to push people into paying for advertising.
I've noticed that.
But you got to be so accurate if you can do that. Now, paying, say, $20-$30 for some ads, that's nothing. That's easy. But then I was getting people responding to the ads that had nothing to do with the events. Like, I was being hyper-specific to go to the right people, and it was still getting it wrong.
Yeah, it was just bots that's advertising too. I would, when it comes to like, because here's the thing, MySpace was originally a music website.
Yes.
And it catered to musicians. And I think, I wish I could like talk to the creator of Space A for this, but if they incorporated like an event system and they had it to where bands can pay for like advertising and make their money that way, because Space A doesn't make any money at the moment, and instead of
what will happen though, all the Taylor Swifts will step in and get all of the advertising,
possibly, but at the same time, like, I would rather support musicians having ads versus like fucking Walmart or just some company.
Yeah.
And even if it's, and you can start out small, you can start out with independent bands that, maybe can even be grandfathered into a special deal where their, band is advertised, has a little banner at the top or the bottom or whatever. Like that, I won't mind at all.
Do you still use posters? Because the venues that I go to, they have posters still for events.
I do.
Yeah.
I try to post them.
But the other thing...
For the stuff I was doing, we kind of stopped because we ran out of places to put them.
I was going to say, because back in the day, they used to have posters fucking everywhere across town. And in goth shops.
When I did a poster run through the city for the Attic, which is around 2008, we had so many relevant places we could put them in. And even other places. Like, we'd stick them up in bloody Goodwill. They'd let us put one up.
Yeah.
Remember when you could buy tickets from fucking goth shops
to
events? Not a thing anymore.
Yeah, Hot Topic used to do that.
You do them all electronically or on the door now.
Yeah, and well, let's not fucking go into the ticket bullshit
with
events nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck Ticketmaster.
And the problem is, since COVID, you can't exactly rely on just cash anymore. Because a lot of people don't use it. We've been trained to do everything electronically.
That, you know, I feel like that's 50-50. Like, I feel like if you don't, I feel like the less money you make, especially here in America, the more likely you're willing to use cash. Because I've been selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and there's been times where it's like, are you sure you don't want to, like, PayPal me this or something? And they're just like, nah, I'll just give you cash.
Under the table economy as well.
Well, yeah.
Cash can't be traced. It's good for everyone.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Going back to Facebook.
It is.
The event system is fucking shite.
It used to be good though.
It was.
Because you are trying to look for stuff and stuff that's recommended to you. Sometimes you'll find the odd gem, but when you look, like, I have to go through every event and I have to search like throughout my entire, not Shire, not fucking like my entire region. So like the entirety of the East Midlands.
Bloody hell.
Which is like 25% of the fucking UK.
Yep. Even if you follow the bands, you don't see them.
So I've got to look through the entire list to find like random stuff which will be of interest to me. And I do it because I'm going to miss out on stuff if I don't.
Yeah.
And
that's even if the people involved with the event are sharing it and you know them, because you don't always see the posts on your feed.
No, that's what I'm saying. Even events like that I go to all the time, I sometimes don't see them. I have to look them up myself. I'm like, I ain't seen one of those in a while. What's going on?
It also doesn't help there are people like me that their feed was making them depressed, so they simply stopped following it.
So, yeah, fuck Facebook.
And I generally go by notifications, but every now and then I'll have a scroll through. But if it's around an election, no.
Yeah, even if you follow them.
Too depressing.
All that.
I'm trying to remember who runs the like Goth America events. That's a really good website.
They were trying to do a world one for a while, but it went out of date.
It's still going. I found some stuff on there, but it doesn't list everything.
No. It's up to the event organisers to contact them.
I found some interesting stuff.
Or someone local.
There's like, I found like some weird ones on that site. You're on about the Goth Event one, yeah?
Yeah.
The one where you submit and you send. Yeah, I found them on... I found like ones on like these, like in Lancashire, like just below the Scots border. And it's this tiny like fishing town and there's nothing around it. And I'm like, there's a Goth Event there and it looks popular and it's regular. And I'm like, what the fuck? How the hell? Who's going to this thing? There must be like 30, 40 people at most.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it was. But yeah, it was just random places.
As long as you can keep your head above water.
Yeah, but
and the venue's happy, that's fine.
These places are just so isolated and I wouldn't expect them to have goth events, but they do. Or they're like 80s pop events, stuff like that. But it's very close to goth.
How many people do you get in your goth events around where you are, Dean?
Not. Spellbound is roughly about 200 people. Requiem will be probably about 100.
In Adelaide, we're doing well if we get between 50 and 100.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you'll be getting maybe 20 to 40, depending on the event.
Mm-hmm.
At least round when I stopped running them, they were kind of like that. But it was enough to keep them going.
Yeah.
I think a couple of, like when I went to that goth night at Ancient World before I went to that gig, they probably had about 30-ish there, which was okay. A lot of people were there though because myself and Judy started telling people to go, and a few people I knew went because they knew I was going.
Yeah.
So I was like, yay, I've still got some pull. Or at least people trust what I say. Like, I'm not going to leave people wrong.
Yeah. How many do yours get? No.
I'm sorry. I'm like looking up this website. By the way, it's New Goth City is what it's called.
Your events. People.
Really good website if you're coming to the United States and you want to find some goth events. They do a really good job of trying to keep that updated. But, you know. Anyway, what's the question again?
How many people do you normally get at your events?
It obviously
on average.
On average, we do pretty good. Like at least for our actual events, about 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that here, 100 would be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
We used to get those sort of numbers 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
age range for you guys?
Sometimes, like in Melbourne, they tend to get 200 to 300, but Melbourne's the goth capital of Australia.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, if you're getting 100, you're doing really well.
What's the age range for your guys' votes? Mine are generally either, there's a few young uns, like about 20 maybe, and then the rest are older than me. They're in their like 40s, 50s, 60s, and there's like probably like 30, 40 people in their 30s like me.
Ours, I think you got a lot more in the 20 to 30 range, 20 to 40 range.
Generally, it's older.
Tends to be most.
Yeah, we get a lot of.
Really? Mostly here it's older. A lot older.
But we do have older people too, because a lot of the older people just stop coming.
They get tired.
Yeah.
They don't hear.
People like, that's something that I said in part 3 is, yeah, I may be 47, but, and when I look in the mirror, it tells me I'm 47, but the drive's still there. It doesn't go away for some people. And then Dean pointed out, for some people.
But we get a bunch of ages, and it also depends on the venue because we've got some bars, people 21 older are only allowed, which is a stupid rule, but it is what it is. Yeah. But when we try to do all ages shows, we do get quite a few like 16 to 18-year-olds and then a lot of 20-year-olds.
No, we don't do that anymore. Well, we never did that.
Yeah. The main issue we have with all ages here is, well, the pedophile is in jail. And that shadow still hangs over things, so people think, hang on, if you're organising an all ages event, you must be in it to touch kids and teenagers. It's like, no. We just want to get them involved. Because if we don't get them involved, the emo pop punk nights are going to be what they end up going to, and that's where they're going to stay.
No, the main thing we try to do is just make it a non-alcoholic event. Like, that's the best way to do it, because then...
How does the event make money, though? Because a lot of venues, if you're not getting money over the bar, they don't like that.
Well, you do a couple things. For one, allowing vendors to rent tables. That helps a lot.
Yep. I guess if you're paying a higher fee to the venue, that helps too.
Yeah, and of course, ticket sales.
It might be based on what you're doing. And if they get a cut of ticket sales and that, yeah.
Ticket sales, let's see, tickets, vendors. You can still sell drinks. You can still sell like sodas and stuff like that. Not as expensive, but it's still something.
Well, they don't make as much money on them as they do with the alcohol.
No,
but that said, if they've got like a coffee machine or something and are making cappuccinos, they make good money on those too.
That's what I would like to do. If I had the money and the wherewithal to open a business, I would love to make like a goth cafe / event venue.
And then you can run your club at night.
Yeah.
Even if it's a small venue that you can only fit 50 people, that means you got a line on the door. You don't see that very often in a goth club.
Yeah, and something that's always pissed me off about goth clubs is they have the shittiest fucking coffee, if they make coffee.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how the fuck am I gonna stay awake? Like, alcohol can only do so much.
If you're not gonna... Well, they can only sell so much Red Bull.
Yeah, and Red Bull's disgusting.
And what annoys me is they've always got regular Red Bull. They don't have Red Bull, no sugar. But there's demand for it.
Yeah, I've been to a lot more places.
I'd buy so much more Red Bull at clubs if they sell no sugar.
Yeah.
But I know if I have too much of the sugar stuff, it's not good for me, so I can't.
Yeah.
Diabetes, diabetes. Diabetes, diabetes. Diabetes, diabetes. Diabetes.
So, for anybody out there...
I mean, they sell low-carb beer.
So, for anybody out there who thinks that you can't do a dry goth event, bullshit. You can. I've done it. You make money from it.
The other option, too, is to run it at a pub during the daytime.
I was about to say, I was tempted to do that.
Where people can buy alcohol people can buy drinks if they can, but the beauty of running it at a pub, they sell meals.
Yeah, that's a big one too.
That's what I want.
You get money that way. With the furball events we do, quite often what we would try and do is get a venue where people can come. They do like a dinner club package where they pay X dollars and they get their dinner. So everyone meets up for dinner as part of it, and then the club happens like an hour or so after. But recently, though, we've been doing the vendor thing, where we've got the It's almost like a mini convention where you've got about 4 hours for the vendors on the dance floor space, and then they pack up, and an hour later we start the club.
Yeah,
that's what you want. That's what you want to be full of fucking fish and chips or a steak meal, and then to go dancing. It's going to be.
Well, you want to have something like that before you're drinking.
Yeah.
But maybe a couple of hours.
Then even while you're drinking, like sometimes I get the munchies when I was drunk, you know?
Yeah. One of the cool things at one of the pubs that shut down after COVID here is in the beer garden they have a sausage sizzle going. So you didn't even have to leave the venue to get food.
Yeah.
Did I mention spiders on the podcast? Did I mention the one where there's a metal club where you can get crumpets at like midnight in Bristol?
Funny you mentioned that. The venue that did this was a metal bar.
Yeah, there's one that's really cheap.
They know their people.
I swear, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the podcast before. I think I swear I remember talking about it. But the guy does it as a non-profit, like a pub, a venue, and you just become a member. Spiders in Bristol, not Bristol, Spiders in Hull, and I've never been there, but I really want to go there because it's all like 2005 prices, so it's like £2.50 for like a JD and Coke, or like a beer is £2. He does it all just to keep it going. He doesn't get a profit from it.
Oh wow!
And they do like weird foods like all night. You can get.
It's a bit like how at a bowls club they tend to charge cheaper for beer and that.
Yeah, but you can get like crumpets and stuff in the fucking club, and that's the funniest thing. I'll have to read the menu, but it's just really random British food you can get like at 1 o'clock in the morning there, and it's cheap as fuck.
Quick question. You've got Aldi where you are, right, Dean? I don't know if Meg does.
2 minutes away from me.
You do? Okay. Is that your soft drink brand?
No.
So that's Aussie Aldo's soft drink, or lemonade, or what you'd call in America Sprite. They don't even sell Sprite here anymore.
That's fine. Sprite's kind of gross.
I like this stuff. It's good.
I'm more of a Sierra Mist.
I thought I'd point that out.
Sierra Mist is
Need to do a song, if that's okay, and then we can carry on.
When this stuff's like, it's cheap. It's like, I don't know, maybe it's the Australian version of Faygo. Though we've got plenty of those.
Faygo's so damn good.
You guys are okay with that?
No. Faygo.
Okay.
Whoop whoop.
Meg rebelling.
And here I am with my very 80s looking glass, which is from Hungry Jack's. They do these glasses every year, summer ones, as a promo.
After the next song, I gotta tell you about the dumb work Christmas present I got.
Ooh.
Your thing. Okay, I've recently got into this band. It is Cinema Strange, and I find them quite quirky.
Only recently?
Yeah, the past few months.
Dean's like, fuck you, Aytakks.
Yeah, I know. But like I said, my music journey is weird. I kind of come in at the side of the iceberg. And just
well, we all have gaps. We all have gaps. Where sometimes you'll discover it. Like, it took me ages to really get into the mission.
They're kind of like a heavier Virgin Prunes in a way to me. Just those kind of bands that are kind of weird and quirky. They don't.
They're almost at times they're almost death rock.
Yeah, that's just why I like them as well. But
yeah,
it's Cinema Strange Sadist Sagittarius.
Nice.
I think the neighbor's got a puppy.
Not useful.
El Papo.
Yeah, they have a big dog, but like I keep hearing a kind of whine, and I'm like, he doesn't make that noise
Not Storm.
unless he's like really being shoved outside
Storm's been quiet for once.
for too long. Storm's always quiet on the podcast.
It's because of the Polaris pattern on this microphone. It doesn't pick up much from about here. Even when it was barking like mentally in a couple of podcasts ago, he didn't pick it up on the microphone when Jen came home. What were we talking about? you seemed adamant.
I was gonna mention my dumb Christmas present. It's like dumb but smart at the same time.
Why?
So usually I get some pretty good gifts from my job. I'm not gonna say exactly what company it is, but like it's basically tech related stuff. So I've actually gotten like a good JBL like Bluetooth speaker and a Burberry backpack from them in the past.
Oh, that's one step towards becoming a Chaz.
Yeah, it's good shit. It's good shit. And
but it's real. It's real Burberry though. They tend to use the fake stuff, don't they, Dean?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, there's a real Burberry bag, and they just slap their logo on it. But we got this new one, and it's a mug, but it's not just a regular mug. It is a self-warming mug that I can control via an app.
Wow.
Free again?
It's kind of it's like at first I thought this is
That's right up there with an internet fridge.
It has a power source then.
Yeah, it's like, this is so stupid. Yeah, so the power source is like, so there's like the coaster is like a rechargeable stand, and the whole heating element is in the mug itself.
That'll be fun to wash.
You can only hand wash it.
Oh no, Dean, you know what this means? You know what's coming. Talkie toaster.
Would you like some toast?
There are smart toasters.
Can you hear Storm bark?
I shit you not.
He's barking right now.
No?
Exactly. He's barking at something out there.
No. Yeah, Jack, like my neighbor's dog Jax is barking right now too, so yeah. Yeah, they've got smart toasters now, and I got the fucking app and everything, and I was just like, this is so dumb, but I've drank like 5 fucking drinks out of it since I've gotten it, because it's kept everything warm.
Pumpkin spice latte?
No.
How do you wash it?
Just by hand.
Do you remove the base?
No, you just wash it by hand.
Oh, I see. You do not want to sully it with pumpkin spice latte syrup.
No, it's because you ran out.
Yeah, I ran out. I have the handmade powder, but it's like, I don't really want to throw that in.
It's not the same.
It's not the season for it anymore. Now it's pepper. It's peppermint time. It's peppermint mocha time. You can hand wash it, but you're not supposed to keep the bottom wet, because that's where the like charging coils and stuff are.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But there's timers in the app for tea, for how long you can steep tea for.
Oh, you're in the future now.
Yeah, which I was really not good about doing that. Yeah.
Would you like some tea? Some nice hot piping tea? Why'd you buy a teacup if you don't want any?
I tea, therefore I am.
I tea, therefore I am.
Would you like some tea?
We did get a beautiful teapot from a friend of ours for our marriage, for getting married.
What, a classic one you put on a stove?
No, we got it's like a really nice ceramic looking one. It's got skulls on it.
Where are the vampires and monsters and ghosts?
Fair dues.
It's very pretty. Yes, very goth, very pretty, very demure.
Demure. Bourgeois.
Very demure, very mindful.
For only the blackest of hot beverages.
Hardcore goth.
I was going to move on to the politics of running a goth event, and it's a Meg topic, so you can lead.
Ooh.
Since we're talking about gigs and whatnot.
God. Should have taken notes on those. But, yeah. The politics of running a goth event.
So you're probably going to be on about, like, rivalries between venues and stuff, I assume.
I already covered a little about that too, so yeah.
Yeah, we've been kind of, that's been kind of the overall theme today. But yeah, if you, basically, if you want to get started in making goth events, you know, I actually talked about this with Joe earlier, like kind of something I would love to do if I had the money and if I am able to, maybe even in Portugal when we move there, is open a goth cafe, or that can also be a goth venue that's specifically kind of like obviously we'll have metal and other nights in there because, you know, how the fuck else are we going to make money? But
well, your cafe is your main revenue stream.
Yeah.
The other stuff's just the cream on top.
Yeah.
Jenna just said she'd come to your cafe.
The cafe is the business. The nightclub is the hobby farm.
Yeah. I'd love to do that and just kind of like, you know, bring in people. But anyway, as far as events go, definitely pay attention to your like surroundings and like people, how people react to you making events, especially if they get kind of offended at you doing free events. Just don't work with those people. They suck. Save you a lot of heartache.
Oh yeah.
Because we used to just do coffee meetups, and there was one specific venue that would actually be offended by it.
What?
But the whole point of it was to meet up before going to the goth event that was there. So it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, why do you feel like, why are you afraid? Why are you intimidated by us when we're not even making money off of it? You know, it's...
If anything, you're making them money.
Exactly. And it was just really shitty. And I also lost a lot of support from the same venue because of Goths at the Zoo, even though it was on a Sunday, which they were never open on. And it was a free event. So it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, you could take advantage of this moment and we could work together. Or you could, you know, be little sensitive little buttholes about it.
Oh, my smell.
Wait.
Which, that's the route they took.
So to get this straight, they got the venue that does goth nights got offended because you did an event that's completely unrelated.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cunt.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and they kind of like, you know, and me and Haven, even before we were in a relationship, we worked together on these, and you know, the owner flat out said to them like, "Oh, I feel like you guys are stepping on our toes," and it's just like, the fuck, what?
How dare you? How dare you try and organize or something with the community when I'm not there or running it? Is basically what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, is essentially, and there's just so much of that, like, I want to be holy, I want to be the goth queen or king or what the fuck ever, and it's just like,
pop your goths.
That bullshit.
Oh god, that.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just like, oh my god, get the fuck over yourself. You're a grown adult.
Yeah, people doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you look at people with the social media clout, people have been doing that, trying to get involved with goth events for years. It's just happening in real life. It's the same shit.
Yeah, and I like get, you know, I get like doing it to have fun and also doing it to make money. Like I get that there's not a whole lot of money to be made from it, but if that's the main reason you're going into it.
No. People think there is though. They think, oh, you've got these big numbers. It's like, yeah, a lot of these things cost a lot. We make bugger all. Like, with the events I was running, if someone was in... Because as soon as you start running them, they all come in and want a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be involved. They all want to jump on the bandwagon with you.
Yeah.
But, like, you'd have something like a photographer who says, oh, I want to come and do photography events. Like, great. This is how we do it. take all the expenses, we take all the money we make, take out the expenses, and whatever's left, we split evenly.
Yeah.
Now, this means you'll usually get, well, the worst we normally do is everyone might get $20 out of it. The best I've ever done, everyone got about 100 or so. But there's no guarantees of money, and then most photographers and performers won't even get out of bed for at least $500.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can fuck up.
So it's like, yeah, it's just not that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas you get someone who's really good, and it's like, oh, I wish I could give you more. Those people are gold.
Yeah, and we do have quite a few of those people.
They'll follow you to hell and back too.
It comes down to one of two things. It's either the people who want to take advantage of your work.
Yeah.
Yep. Profiteers.
Who've got yourself that. Or there's the people that you want to help build up or help you build up.
Yes.
It's either one of those things.
And you get the right people, you build each other up together.
Yeah. We've been finding some younger people, thankfully, who are kind of wanting to take over for us when we leave.
That's good.
So that's really good, and we're very thankful for them.
That's the thing with all the newer people I've brought in over the years. All of them are out doing things themselves. A lot of them doing better than I have, and I take pride in that.
Yeah,
because I helped them get their start. I mean, they moved on to bigger and better things, but they started small with me, and I gave them a hand.
You'll also...
They also helped me at the same time, don't get me wrong. But, yeah.
You'll also find...
That's how the scene grows. Sorry.
I think we
stop.
need the little hand thing that comes up when one of us wants to talk. I don't know if you can do that in this. You can do it in Teams.
You should be able to.
Yeah, I was looking for it.
I believe we can. I gotta set it.
It's because of the lag between. I think you finished talking.
Yeah, that could be it.
Could just do a react.
I saw it earlier.
That didn't work.
Because when I was having to click through different things, I think I have to set it. It's a host tool.
Maybe. Anyway, what are you doing now? I was gonna say, hey.
It's the only hand I could find.
I can't. How the fuck is it under React? Because I did both.
Yeah, I hit React. Oh, it's under reactions. It says raise hand.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
Recognize hand gestures.
Yeah.
Play chime for raised
We've
hands.
got it. You just press React. Just press React. Don't go to the arrow, and then you can put a hand up.
And I can just choose what I want to have when I'll just raise hand.
Yeah. When you want to say something, just raise hand. So yeah, I was gonna say, I completely forgot. There was an issue with like in our area. I was said about this person a while ago who's banned from every venue in the East Midlands because of her shitty practices with events, and she claimed rivalry with everything, like every single person trying to do something, even if it's unrelated, and in different towns, and was claiming that they were stealing her crowds and shit, and apparently telling bands not to play with her. It wasn't because they were doing that, it was because she was doing shitty practice. And generally I find the people who want to be popular or want to do it for the wrong reasons to start events, they're the ones who get pissy about this shit. Whereas the people who do nights for the fun of it are actually mates with everybody else who does nights. Or friends with people who are involved. That's my 2 cents anyway.
Or it can also be a lack of communication as well, as it was between myself with the attic and necromancy back in the day, is that we didn't really talk to each other. And we talked to each other enough to know they run their night a certain time of the month, we run our night at a certain time of the month, and we're not going to clash.
Yeah.
But we also knew enough, because people knew in the scene, they always did a Halloween event, so we didn't touch it.
Yeah, understandable. Right, has anyone got anything else to add on this one?
Oh god, I can add so much. Oh man, you've seen the article I wrote.
I think so, yeah. I've read a few.
About being a DJ and starting a goth night.
Yeah.
Because that's the main thing. Once you're getting successful, everyone wants to be on board. And if you want to get on board to an established night, say you want a DJ or something, don't just copy what they're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to issue like a song list or a demo or whatever, make sure you're doing things that they are not already doing and put your own spin on it.
Yeah.
You got to put some of it in, but you have to put some of yourself in. Otherwise, I don't need to hire another DJ that's just going to play the same shit I play. I'm already doing it.
You gotta make it an experience too. Don't just like, oh, here's some songs I picked out. Like, play some movies in the background, mess with lighting. Just like make it unique. Add some freebies. We buy Halloween candy all the time for people to eat.
You got to be careful with the movies for copyright, though.
Oh, we get like the old. That's the great thing about Goth Night is you can find old movies that
Royalty-free.
are past the whole copyright claim thing. Yeah.
I was going to say the other thing that really pissed me off about this person, because I actually used to work for them for a little bit, and I wised up, was that she noticed that my original channel was doing well, and then she's said basically anything I do, I have to advertise for her.
Bull fucking shit!
Or mention her or bring her up and stuff. I was just like, fuck off, I did that on my own, yeah.
What?
Anything like...
You paying me?
He did pay me for one thing.
You want to be a sponsor?
To design 3D logos for her.
Today's video is sponsored by Shill.
Yeah, it was very shitty, and they were just being a knobhead about it. It's just like, oh, you can do this and this, and just remember to shill for us and mention us in every video. I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that. Fuck off.
You have been judged a poser by your peers.
I was like, yeah, no.
If I mention someone, it's because I like them.
Yeah.
I've shilled for loads of
exactly,
and I support what they do.
People who deserve it.
I'm not just going to mention something like I'll mention something that I know is going to be good, even if I'm not going. Like with the event that I can't go due to scene politics. I know it's going to be good and people are going to enjoy it. Unfortunately, though, I can't be there, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay.
And if they want to go there and ask, "Where's Joe?" a few people already know why I'm not going. They can say, "Oh, he's not here because blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And if that backfires on them, well, that's on them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry for the abrupt ending to the episode. We recorded this and it ran a bit long and decided to split it in two. I think we recorded a proper ending, but I haven't got to that in the editing process yet. And we've been sitting on this since late last year, so it's nearly mid-April now. Been a bit long and we wanted to get it out. It's been a tough time for a few of us with the political situation of the world and things like that, and for me, I haven't exactly been in a good headspace, and when I have been, I've had a lot of stuff on, which I'll talk about next time. But anyway, part 2 will be coming soon, and to leave you on a happy note, have some Goth Rap. Enjoy. You want Goth Rap? I'll give you Goth Rap. I'm dripping off snake-biting black with an absinthe chaser. I've been seeing bats and spiders for days. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. It's dancing time. Blaze up that smoke machine. I can still see my hands. Get off my dance floor, else I scarecrow clothesline your ass. It's time for Darkwave, we gonna surf at night. I put a stone in my coffin, I call it my death rock. I threw a punk into a mailbox, that'll learn 'em. This ain't no goth club, the drinks are cold and the toilet still works. entry fee. You should be paying me to be here for classing up the joints. I'm a DJ's worst nightmare. I only request goth rarities and B-sides. I smoke some clothes and I complain to all in earshot. Fire the fucking DJ. I'll play some real goth music. You don't want to get judged? Too late for that, poser. I am the gate and your ass is getting excluded. There's no alt-brand worship in these parts. Call me the Grim Reaper, cause your goth card getting scythed. There's an elitist motherfucker in the club, and I'm all out of gates to keep. I ain't no brown noser, I'm a cranky goth poser. I play it straight up. This shit ain't nothing to